I mean, Cousins is certainly a better quarterback than Bortles. If you put Cousins on that team with that defense, with Fournette, he could be in this exact same spot. If not beyond, who knows? But, yeah, I mean, you look at those four quarterbacks, well, throw Brady out, but Foles, Keenum, and Bortles.
Doesn't change.
When you had Breeze in the mix,
right.
You had Matt Ryan in the mix.
I think more than anything, it's just
you had Ben Roethlisberger in the mix.
Right.
You had Cam Newton.
Don't you think more than anything, though, it's
Alex
fluky?
Smith?
I don't think that's the standard. That's not the future.
This is just a fluky
It's
thing.
just a fluky thing.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, if you think this is just the way it's going to be, that you're going to have sort of modest quarterbacks with modest credentials lead their teams to, to these playoff Super Bowl runs, I don't think so.
Drew Brees should be playing in an NFC championship.
Of course he should.
He got a 90% chance of winning that game.
And I still think Kirk Cousins is honestly due for a huge windfall. It's not like 20 teams out there that need quarterbacks are all of a sudden going to say, well, we don't need a guy of Kirk Cousins' caliber. We can get it done with the guy that we have. We can get it done with the substandard quarterback that we have at this point. He's still going to have a ton of suitors. People are still going to be lining up, especially the teams that are flush with salary cap money, to pay him to get him on their squad. So, I mean, I don't think his market dries up or is lessened
because of this. No.
Because of what's happened with these three quarterbacks.
But also remember that these three quarterbacks have really good defenses. Arguably the best three defenses in the league.
I mean, the Vikings defense, when you get to third down against the Vikings,
you're toast.
I mean, yeah, you're just not going to convert it. Best of luck to you at that point.
800-636-1067 is the number. So that's the question to you. After watching the divisional playoff round and what the three quarterbacks did, Foles, Keenum, and Bortles, how does that make you feel about having,
to be honest with you,
Kirk Cousins, and then going forward, can Kirk Cousins lead the Skins to this exact same point?
It makes me feel even better because it's another of teams that have than elite quarterbacks going deep. I think Kirk is very, very good. I don't think he's elite. A lot of things that he doesn't do particularly great, but he's very good. I know you can win with him.
It just takes a while to build that defense. To build what Jacksonville has, to build what Minnesota has.
Sure, it takes years of shrewd drafting, good free agency pickups. I mean, just think of the haul that the Jags had just in free agency this past year, bringing in Campbell,
was big.
Bringing in A.J. Bouye at one of the corner spots to upgrade that defense.
And they bring in Malik Jackson.
They signed all those guys because they're not paying a quarterback.
Yeah, that's true.
That's the whole thing about it. No one's really questioning, is Kirk a better quarterback than those guys playing?
As I told you, of course.
But if you want to do it, there's a way to do it. The reason why the Seahawks went to 2 Super Bowls in a row is because Russell Wilson cost $750,000.
Well, they also but they drafted well.
And they drafted well.
They hit their draft picks.
Right. So if you start over with Colt, you're not going to win next year, but you're going to suck for a couple of years. Spend that money on your defense.
You have a draft history and a reason to believe in that.
Right.
And there's no reason to believe in that here. Literally zero.
Well, then what's the point of playing at all?
Because you're not going to win it either way. Here's the way you point to play. You get the good players and hopefully the best quarterback you can. Because typically, you guys, you know what? You guys all bet on mediocre quarterbacks. I'll bet on the better quarterbacks, and I'll be on the right side of it more often than not.
It's not mediocre quarterbacks. I don't think Blake Bortles is going to win a Super Bowl. I just think there's a way to get it done. If you don't have that Tom Brady or Drew Brees, you can get it done.
There are ways, but it's extraordinary, and it's rare. It's rare. Typically, teams that are in the playoffs this late have the better quarterbacks. This is just one of those fluky years. It is. And by the way, as I said to these guys to lead off this conversation, we weren't paying a quarterback anything 2 years ago, leading up to it. Robert was on his rookie deal, and they did nothing.
Also, remember this. First of all, in a couple of these games, you got to get some luck. All right, Vikings got a huge break. Also, Bortles didn't throw up huge numbers, but they put up 45 points in that game.
Right.
All right, they created turnovers. They scored off turnovers. So Drabby, it gets back to this year is just kind of fluky. It's just kind of a fluky year. They got three really good defenses there. But we just pointed out all the flukes and the breaks. It's certainly not the norm. It won't be the norm.
And I think it just gives more credence to a guy like Kirk, who's better than most of those guys, that, of course, if they get a little luck and if they draft a little better and they have a few extra more pieces, that the Redskins can make a run like that.
Well, how was the Jaguars win fluky? They were a better team. They were better than them in the regular season. They beat them again.
No, that wasn't really fluky. I mean, they deserved to win the game. They just outplayed them. But they're
a better team.
They were.
Maybe
they
just
yeah.
maybe they match up better against
22 players. Jaguars have better players.
Maybe
than
they match up
the Steelers.
better against them.
You're right.
That could just be a quirky matchup thing, though. I mean, I don't know.
Well, it was also horrible play calling by the Steelers.
Yeah.
But Ben made some.
I don't even think the Steelers were 100% focused.
I would rather have my team built around Ben Roethlisberger, personally. I think my team will go further. And I pay Ben Roethlisberger whatever the rate is, and you can pay Blake Bortles or those guys.
Valdez, whose offense would you rather have, Jacksonville's or Pittsburgh's?
Come
on.
Don't even say Jacksonville.
Come on, you asked me a question. I can't think.
Yeah. Answer. You shouldn't even have to think.
I would rather have Pittsburgh's offense.
Of course. You'd rather have Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
now,
but
they lost to them twice.
Yeah,
I get it.
And they're paying for it. But at what cost do I want Pittsburgh's offense? The fact that I can't replace Ryan Shazier or find a competent cornerback?